Fresh.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. Hopefully you enjoyed the new intro. I'm Chris Fresh, and I'm the plumbing sales coach. Tonight we're going to talk about overcoming objections. That is such a big deal, such a thing that has to be dealt with in almost every single call, believe it or not. Randall Gilmore says, hey, Fresh, good to see you tonight, sir. Good to see so many of you tonight. Now, we're going to have to get along tonight a little bit better. I don't have access to the comments. I know we got them really close, but I want to get a hold of those. Maybe I can grab those here off camera, and we'll get that set up as we go. But I want to also let you know we're doing a couple of neat things tonight. As you saw the new intro, let me know if you like the new intro. Let the world know if you like the new intro, but also the new logo, the new branding. I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. I have an awesome team. I can't lie. I have a team that is dedicated to this stuff. They are working around the clock for you, for me, so that we can all have a better experience when we watch the show, when we get to know the products. And also, we've got merchandise. I've told you the merchandise was coming. I've showed you a little glimpse, but this one right here is legit, ready to be mailed out, brand new, never been used. Tumbler, who wants to win this tonight? On the backside, we got Always Be Serving. Right here, we got the new brand and logoed up Fresh that is trademarked. So don't try to be stealing that. That's trademarked too. We've got registries in process. Just so you know, just disclaimer. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Adam Randall says, good to see all of you. Christopher Bell in the house as well. Good to see all of you guys. Look, tonight we're going to talk about overcoming objections. We're going to talk about comment of the night. We're going to talk about the $25 Visa gift card giveaway, and we're going to give away that cup. Hopefully we can get all that done in 30 minutes. I'm sure that we can. I'm having a little trouble getting to the show here, so you guys are already doing a better job than me. We'll get there, though, and I'm going to get these comments up because I love reading your comments, and I love interacting with you. In fact, that's why we do Comment of the Night. In fact, this is a great time to talk about Comment of the Night. If you are the Comment of the Night tonight at the end of the show, we'll pick two people. If you're one of those two people, you will be entered into a drawing for this week that will be taking place this Thursday. That's stage one giveaway. That's $25 Visa gift card. The winner of that gets entered into a $200 giveaway that we do every 4 to 5 weeks with the previous winners. Now, think about it. You got a 25% chance of winning if you get in any one of these drawings to win 25 or $200 or $225, and all you got to do is add value to the show and be Comment of the Night. I can't make it any easier. I do all that I can. I'm doing the most here. I'm doing the most I can with this. All you guys got to do is be a part of it. Hopefully, there we go. We've got it. He says, that's so fresh. Love the tumbler. Eyes, ears on you, CF. Jeff Lane, good to see you, brother. Good to see so many of you. Jeff, I think I got a call from you. I owe you a call back. Sorry about that. We will get you here soon. I'm having a haywire moment with my little, what do you call these things? Tripod. They're tripods. So I'm going to be looking off. Sorry about that. Merchandise in the house, Robert says. That's right. We got this cool thing. Who likes this, man? Says, totally need one of those. Absolutely. Who doesn't? This thing hot. It's called Polar Camel is the brand because, man, they keep it hot and they keep it cold. Want one of those fresh cups, Derek says. Carlos Lopez, good to see you. Value stacking your comments to get that money. Hey, look, get your comments in there. Tell us what you know. Mr. Bob Kellogg in the house says, hello, Mr. Fresh. Look, get your comments in there. That's how you get in the drawing. If you want to subscribe to the show so you can get in early and start dropping them comments early and get a quicker, more opportunities to win, simply type subscribe into the comments. When you do that, Facebook will send you a message from my page verifying that you're a human. Once you verify with them that you're a human, you'll be subscribed to the show. Also, now's a good time to bring it up. Hey, look, a lot of you owners out there, I'm talking to you just for a quick second. The show is for everyone. Owners, technicians, our training is for technicians. Our training is for owners. Our training is for CSRs. It's for everyone. But I'm talking to you owners for just a second. Look, if you feel like you need more calls, somehow you need to just get more money through getting more calls. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need more calls. You need to do more with your calls. You don't need better guys. You need to make your guys better. And you don't need better customers. You need to give your customers a better experience. And to be able to do that, to get insight on how to do that, type ebook into the comments, answer the questions in the messenger, and you will get the ebook delivered right to your inbox. Then you can read it. It gives you links back to past shows, answers a lot of questions about how to do those things. And so we give you not just questions, but we also give you answers. If you notice, tonight we're in a courtroom because tonight we're talking about objections, and there's no better place than to be in a courtroom when you're talking about I object, and it happens all the time in the courtroom. In fact, the answer to the problem is something that lawyers do very well. Some do it in a sleazy kind of way. I don't know any other word to say it. They're manipulative, but not all lawyers. That's not true. In fact, now's a good time to point out that not all people in every profession are bad. It's just that every profession has bad people in it. And in service plumbing, it's true. And so I can make some of you better because you want to get better. And then there's some of you I can't do anything about because your character's not right. And so when it comes to being a broke fix plumber, that's okay. But when it comes to defending it because you simply don't want to do the work, well, that's not okay. And that's what we talk about all the time. So tonight we're talking about a scenario where we presented three options. We've given the customer all three scenarios that we think are legitimately good for the customer based on conversations we've had in the home, based on great service that we've had in the home, based on diagnosing, based on the fact that we build relationships, based on the fact that we value stack, based on the fact that we understand that the customer has been put out of place. The customer has been taken off the rails, so to speak, of life when they woke up to this plumbing problem. And so here we are with this opportunity. We give them the three options and they want to think about it. Or they say, I was just looking to get quotes. Or they were thinking about just calling a couple more companies. Or they wanted to talk to their spouse. Or whatever the scenario is, the thing is they're not doing is saying yes and signing paperwork. So if they're not saying yes and signing paperwork, well, there's probably a reason. Sometimes there's a good reason. And most of the time there isn't. And the good reason doesn't mean it could be because of a misconception. It could be for misinformation. And I'm going to tell you right now, 90% of all objections are misinformation a lot of times. Here's the thing. They woke up with the plumbing problem. Either they didn't communicate what they thought their problem was or what they wanted fixed to you, and so you didn't give them an option to deal with that, or you didn't listen. And you didn't get the information and you didn't give them an option that deals with their problem. Look, everyone asks me, hey, Chris, do you offer a tankless in every house? No. Chris, do you offer repumps in every house? No. Chris, do you always start out with, a brand new No. No, first of all, I don't always anything except for serve. Okay, that's the only thing I always do, because the reality is that every scenario is different. Every customer is different. Every problem is different. Every home is different. Every situation, all the circumstances are different. And again, in a courtroom, when you think about objections, and you think about lawyers, and you think about judges, and you think about witnesses, what starts to happen? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you get objections, if someone is objecting to your scenario, to your offer, well, there's one simple thing, okay? There's one thing that you got to get good at, that you got to be able to do. I'm going to tell you what that is in just a second. But before I do, I just want you to understand this thing, you got to be good at this regardless of just objections. You got to be able to use this skill, use this gift, use this ability to understand what the customer wants, to be able to even understand what the customer's after. What up, Brandon? I owe you a call as well. Sorry, brother. He's always this fired up, however. I am always this fired up, Brandon, because people like you. First of all, Brandon's a guy that adds value to the show. Brandon, I might just send you one of these just because. You know what I'm saying, brother? You're loyal to the show. You've been watching the show. Been slacking on your attendance a little bit lately. I pay attention. But your dedication to add value to the show night after night after night is honestly unbelievable. I really appreciate you for that. I really, really do. Like, I wish people understand. I really, really do. Mike says, ownership is not for the lazy, and not everyone is meant to be an owner. Absolutely. Amen, brother. That's right. And that's fine. Look, we were all wonderfully gifted. I mean, like, we're wonderfully made. We're gifted. We're intelligently designed. Like, we are made on purpose with purpose. Everyone can't be the same. We can't all drive blue Maseratis. We can't all like red trucks. We can't all like, I mean, we could all like blue. Who can't like blue? Based on the fact that good service requires good humans, being one requires you to be the best. It absolutely does. Sometimes misinformation, though, can keep us from being great service plumbers because we aim at the wrong thing. We focus on the wrong thing. She says, blue is the best. He says, you never call me anymore. It was like a 4-night stand. That's not even true. That's not even true. It's not even true. Ooh, I grabbed the wrong cup. This one actually has stuff in it. That one's mine. That one's mine. All right, so we got this cup to give away. Maybe we'll give away 2. Maybe we'll give up 2. Color blue matters. I know what you're saying, Mike. Look, here's the thing, guys. Bottom line is that when, first of all, you want to know what a true leader is? Find someone who's serving. Okay, find anybody on this planet who's serving, not talking, not chirping, but serving. And that's a leader. Okay, that's a leader. Doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what they think, doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter. But if if they have the act of service, they're a leader. Jeff says, just give me one and I'll be happy. Austin says, I want one. Check out the E-Myth book if you haven't yet. Great read about how ownership, I think he was going to say, works there. Look, no, Brian, no, it's not that rum and Coke. Coke would be about as far as we go. Coke and ice. Coke and ice. Maybe some Coke and cherry Coke. I am a bit of a guilty party to cherry Coke. Love me some, especially with real grenadine. That's the bomb.com. Oh, great. Now this is being watched by the FBI. All right. So look, here's what we're talking about, though. Objections. So asking questions. Got to get good at asking questions. Questions. That's how you do it. That's how lawyers do it. That's how you do it in any scenario where you want to really understand where the other person is coming from, which is what you have to do in order to truly overcome an objection. You don't want to persuade objections. There's literally training out there that's called AIM. Acknowledge, ignore, move on. I mean, it's this idea that, yeah, I heard what you had to say, but I'm just saying, ignore. I'm going to move on. I'm going to sweet talk you into the purchase, and we're just going to get past this like it never happened. I don't like that. That's not service. That's literally the opposite of service. Service is when you take the time to listen, not only to what they're saying, but how they're saying it. You know, the voice inflections, the voice tones. People that have been around me long enough to know, or around me long enough, they know. They'll tell you right now. I can pick up on it if I'm in the other room. I can just hear it, meaning the attitude change, meaning the attitude adjustment, whether it be with my kids, my wife and my kids and my wife, me and my wife, me and my kids, everything. I can feel it. You can feel it too. Be honest. When you walk in the home and the spouse ain't happy, you know it. No one needs to come and tell you, hey, just so you know, I'm not sure if you picked up on this or not. You've been here for about 15 minutes, but she's not happy right now. You're like, yeah, I know. I'm aware. I'm just trying to figure out what I did wrong. Closed mouth never gets fed. Amen, brother. Look, this is so true. You guys got to this is reality right here, because here's the thing. If you don't ask questions, and we'll get into what kind of questions, like the right questions, okay? You got to ask questions, though, to overcome objections. I can give you all the things to say. When they say this, you say that. When they do this, you do that. I mean, honestly, that sounds like a high school cheer. That's not going to solve anything. What happens when the scenario pops up that I don't think of ahead of time and give you the information to memorize to then regurgitate during the moment? What happens when they ask you a question and all you got is a couple layers of memorization on some slick, smooth one-liners that really wow people? Come on. It's a joke. It's a joke. Those books are a joke. 100 closing tactics that'll feed your family for the rest of your life. And you'll never sleep right, again, because you'll always be thinking about how you ripped someone off or you manipulated them or you persuaded them. Let me tell you something. It's so simple. It's so simple. Plumbing ages, okay? Plumbing fails. Plumbing has to get replaced. When it gets replaced, sometimes it can be repaired, sometimes it can get replaced, sometimes it can get upgraded. And in almost every scenario, when a customer goes with a replacement over repair, it's actually cheaper by the foot, cheaper by the hour, cheaper by the second, cheaper by the horsepower, cheaper by the whatever you want to say. And when they upgrade, it should even be more cheaper by the horsepower, cheaper by the foot, cheaper by... Look, you go buy a Chevy or you go buy a Cadillac. One's not twice as expensive as the other, but one is definitely twice as better as the other, if you feel me on that one. And that's just the reality. Okay, once you get to the car, the extras aren't as expensive the add-ons shouldn't be as expensive and if you do that with your customer, it's really giving them an opportunity to work their budget out to where they can just make the repair and spend the least amount of money, and that's okay. But it also gives them the opportunity to invest in their plumbing. When you take someone's expense and you turn it into an investment, they're going to be thankful. They're going to tell more people than the person that you just got the leak to stop. That you just got their toilet. Look, my toilet, when I flush it, no one's walking around town going, hey, guess what? My toilet, like when I flush it, it flushes now. Yeah, I use Steve over at Adams Plumbing, and it's like I flush it, it flushes, and that's it. No one does that. Who's doing that? Everyone's like, check out my Cadillac Escalade. No one's like, hey, check out the new car I just bought that's already at the shop that's breaking down. No one gets their car back and like, hey, guess what? Just got a new alternator. It's pretty tight. No, most of them are like, yeah, I just had to get a new alternator. Like, for real, think about this. We laugh, we joke, we kid, but come on, this is true. This is real. You think that people treat plumbing differently? Like, they categorize plumbing like it's some different thing in their life? They shop and they buy and they logically make decisions and emotionally make decisions on everything else in their life differently than they do plumbing? What? Huh? I don't even know what to say. This is used every day. Plumbing is essential. Don't let anyone devalue options, upgrades, and luxuries. Yes, you are a fool to think that people don't like. People like luxuries and upgrades at Walmart. If they didn't, it would just be great value all the time, all the way, every day, and that would be your only option at Walmart. It's their brand. Why would they sell anything else? Well, I know why, because people like upgrades, luxuries, and options, like he said. I mean, I'm sorry, I get passionate about this because it's silly when I run into and look, I'm just going to say right now, if you've been plumbing for more than 10 years, we probably have a problem with one another at some point or another. And if you've been plumbing for longer than 10 years and you're like, no, I totally agree with everything you're saying, then we're the few. We're the many, we're the proud. We're not the Marines though. But we are the few. And the reality is that when you really consider how this game should be done versus how it's been done or how we've been doing it forever, or people shouldn't, you're wrong. You're just wrong. There is no like, well, let's talk about it. You're wrong. And I'm open-minded about this, but you're wrong. 100%. Is there a higher number? Can I go higher? 105%. Because the thing is that it's not our choice, it's the customer's choice. I'm not right when I say everyone should buy an upgrade. I'm not right when I say everyone should buy a luxury. I'm not right when I say that no one should be able to repair. But you're not right when you say everyone should just repair. You're not right when you say everyone doesn't deserve the right to get an option. We would both be wrong. Who's right is the one in the middle that says it's up to the customer. You know, the one paying, the one that picked up the phone and called you. I don't care what town you're in. You have at least 20 competitors. And I'm talking to you, little town USA that has, 10,000 people in it. You still have 20 competitors. And the one that serves their customer the best is the one that will grow the best. It's just that simple. Investing into us. That's our saying here at Absolute. That's a great saying. Charlie B's in the house. Yes, he says no is okay, but not asking isn't. Customer's budget is not your budget. 100% right. Common ground, get to know your customer, Chad says. Have to. And you can do that by simply asking questions. You can do that by making a connection with them, by building a relationship. Look, the reality is that when you go into this home and you get an objection, I'm going to give you guys a couple of we're going to get to the giveaway real quick, give away the cup, give away the comment of the night. We're going to do all that. Boom, boom, boom. I'm also going to give you guys a couple of dead-on key questions that you can ask literally in almost every scenario when you get an objection. These will absolutely move the conversation in the right direction. I'll probably almost guarantee I overcome the objection just by giving you these questions and getting into the right conversation so you can understand why they're saying no, because they're not always saying no for the reasons that you think. There are a million reasons to say no, but usually only about 6 of those get used, and sometimes they get used incorrectly. Meaning sometimes they don't always want to talk to the spouse. Sometimes they just don't trust you. Sometimes they don't want to talk to the spouse. Sometimes they just think you're trying to rip them off. Sometimes they don't want to talk to the spouse. They're just confused. Okay, so we'll get into that in a second. First, I want to say this. We are now officially sponsored. We are now officially sponsored by the company, the boss of service and software, SkyBoss. This is the service and software that a lot of you use to present options, to keep track of inventory, to keep track of invoices, to invoice in general. Some of you are still using pen and paper. Some of you are still losing that pen and paper, and some of you don't know where your money is coming or going. And some of you are finding checks under piles of paper. And believe it or not, a lot of that I just said is true. And her stories I've heard probably just with even the last couple of weeks. So get in the game. The game is, what is the, get in the game? AutoZone? Yeah, not AutoZone. Get in there with SkyBoss. If you don't have a software or service, check them out. They'll give you a free demo. SkyBoss is the bomb. All right. So we're sponsored by them. Proud to say that. Also, they are the proud founders of the Thin Brown line. The Thin Brown line is for us, by us plumbers, for plumbers, by plumbers, clothing line and apparel to support the trade. All right, there we go. That's a mouthful. Also, if you guys want training, if you're a technician, you want training. If you're a manager, you think your techs need training. Or if you're an owner and you think your techs need training. Or you're an owner and you're like, Chris, I just want to go to the next level and I just think I'm overthinking this. I'm doing it. I'm overworking myself. I'm not doing this right. I'm doing too much. I'm everywhere. I can't breathe. The phone's ringing. It's everyone calling me all the time with all their problems. And I got my own problems, but I can't even think about them. If that's you, type dominate into the comments right now, and we will get you information about our training products and services. All right. What are these questions we can ask? Well, first, I do want to give away this right here. I want to give away this right here real quick. I'm going to give one away to Brandon. But don't worry, folks. We got more. I'm going to give away 2 tonight. I'm going to give away one to Brandon. Brandon, I don't know if we have your mailing address still or whatnot on file, but if you could mail that, email us at the info@theplumbingsalescoach.com. This is what I mean when I say the word Fresh Force. Fresh Force is coming. It's official, but it's not, we haven't launched it. If you can see, we got a lot of things we're launching right now, so bear with us. We got a big team, but that still takes time, as you all know. Logistics, baby. So we want to get it right, get it tight, keep it all right. I don't know. I tried to come up with something there clever. I ran out. But anyways, we do have a few of these we want to give away, and I want to give away one to Brandon because when I talk about the Fresh Force, it's those of you who are always serving, those of you who are promoting the show, promoting the brand, promoting this message. Some people say, Chris, does it bother you when your competitors steal your message and your training, your whatever? And I say, it really doesn't anymore. It used to, but it doesn't because the message is getting out. And that's the important thing here. That's the mission I feel called on to share the gospel of Jesus Christ through the plumbing world, because honestly, serving your customer and serving in the way that I believe in serving as leadership applies and all the other things, it's really the same, one and the same. And so that's why I do what I do. And hopefully you do what you do so you can serve your community, make your place better, restoring it through the game of plumbing, right? The industry of plumbing. So we're going to give one away to him, but let's do another one. Now. As we're doing that, we're going to do comment of the night. My producer usually picks comment of the night. But while he's picking the comment of the night, and we give away the other cup, Fresh took my badge, but not my love for him. You're silly. I love you, dude. Take a notepad in with the Explorer will make a world of difference and allow you to service your client in the way that they deserve to be. He's talking about the training. He's been in the training back in the day, my man, one of the original companies that go through the training. He says, how do we get a Cherish Fresh shirt with the logo, baby, that's coming? My man, Anthony, even for Angels, look, I love everyone, okay? I don't hold, even for you Angel fans, even for you, dare I say it, Dodger fans, even for you, although I did see a Dodger, some cool story about a Giants player the other day, which I'll give them some grace. But anyways, even for you guys, we do have shirts coming. We do got some shirts coming, and they're going to have this on them. We're going to have some with this on them. We got flat bill hats coming. We got low pro hats coming. We got it all coming, baby. We got it all coming. All right. Plum Positive, Brandon says, Plum Positive is a show you guys should all check out. These are guys that get it. They're serving their community. They're serving their customers with this show that they've been doing. And Brandon, I have not forgot about you on that. Colorado Rockies, just another team that if they win more games, I would not like them. But they don't win enough for us to not like them. Notepad is 2020. iPad play. That's funny. All right, so let's do this. What's the questions? All right, first of all, your customer says, hey, look, I really want to think about it. Want to talk to my spouse. I want to wait. I was just looking for a quote. Okay, cool. Usually I'll ask them, hey, it's not a problem. Do you mind me asking, especially if it's a spouse, like let's deal with that really quick. I want to hand this off. I want to talk to my spouse. Okay, cool. Do you mind me asking what questions your spouse might have? Now, this is a key question because number one, they may really actually want to talk to their spouse. Normally what happens is when they wake up and realize they have a plumbing problem, or the night before when they have a plumbing problem, when they decide to make the phone call, a conversation typically ensues. Now think about it. You're married. If you're not married, you can imagine you've been in a relationship before. For the big decisions like this, there's a conversation that takes place before someone just picks up the phone. I can't imagine being at work and all of a sudden my wife picks up the phone and goes, hey, by the way, our water heater was leaking and destroyed the pool table, destroyed everything. It's noon. And I'm like, what? When did you find out about this? 8 a.m. Don't worry. I called a plumber out. He's here right now. He's saying around $6,000 for a tankless. What do you think? And I'm just like, the pool table's destroyed? Like, that's not how it goes, okay? We wake up together in the morning going, oh man, the pool table's destroyed. Call the insurance company, call everybody, call the world. We're broke as a joke. We have no money, so we're not going to call a plumber. We're going to hire a friend or ask a friend. Or we do have money, and so we're going to Google search a plumber, and boom, here you show up to my house. Just remember that that's how that goes. So when they say they want to talk to their spouse, what they're saying is I need to have a follow-up conversation with my spouse if that's actually what's taking place there. We'll talk about that in a second. So if that's the case and we realize that right away, well, we want to find out, well, what would they want to know? Well, maybe they want to know why it's so expensive. Maybe they want to know why, they hadn't considered tankless before. You just enlighten them or something to that effect. And that will come out. And then they'll give you a conversation to talk about. But and sometimes they do need to talk to the spouse. Sometimes that's just a reality depending on what we're talking about here. Maybe a new sewer line. Maybe something crazy expensive. Limited options. I get it. Or sometimes people are just non-confrontational. And it's them that want to think about it. They want to get more information from someone else. And so they're using their spouse as a scapegoat. Believe me, this happens more than you think. And so you simply ask them, what kind of questions will your spouse ask? And the questions that they say their spouse is going to ask are the questions that they actually have. But guess what it gives you an opportunity to do? Closed mouth don't get fed, as someone just said. You got to ask that question. Hey, what questions would they have? Now, here's another one. Because what they'll do is they'll simply say to you, hey, look, they're going to want to know, why you recommend this. They're going to want to know blah, 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 whatever questions they have. I'll give you an opportunity to talk about it. I want to make sure before we run out of time, I give you the other key one I love to ask, and that was, what were you expecting? Do you mind me asking before I leave what you were expecting today? So if someone says, ooh, that's really expensive. I wasn't expecting it to be so expensive. I wasn't expecting it. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're saying I have to replumb the whole house. Oh, man, I didn't think that. Okay, all right. Well, I have to think about this. I have to talk to my spouse. I have to whatever. You could simply say, hey, look, what were you expecting? You mind me asking a simple question of, what you were expecting today? Do you mind me asking what you were expecting today? Well, honestly, I thought you were going to be able to just put a Band-Aid on. I thought you were going to be able to just put. Now, I'm not saying that question is going to get you into a conversation that's 100% going to guarantee that you close it, but it gives you a fourth strike, so to speak. It gives you a fourth chance, if you catch my drift. It gives you one more opportunity to have the right conversation, which is all you can do. It's all you can ask for. Gives you an opportunity to educate and inform. Look, if you want this kind of stuff, like on a deep level of constantly penetrating through in technician training, whether it be owner training in our masterminds that we get together with other owners just like you who are successful or who are not successful, who are trying to be successful. We've got companies that have 20 and 30 trucks. We've got companies that have no trucks. We have companies that have 4 or 5 trucks. Or we even have one-on-one coaching custom to what you are trying to do, how you're trying to grow. Look, we've got all these things. Type dominate into the comments. Also, Brandon Graham is one of these, and we're going to give away another one right now. Brandon Graham, not at all. He says, you're actually removing the third party and make everyone's life easier. He's responding to something else. Probably shouldn't have started so low. Look, I love you guys. This is why we do this thing. You guys ready to win one of these? Who wants to win one of these? I got a really important question I'm going to ask to give away one of these. This is going to be something that's probably really important to me. Why? My producer's shaking his head and like, no. Why? You don't want me to ask an important question? You want me to ask a silly question? Like the square root of pi? No, look, here's what we're going to do. It's not going to be planes, trains, and automobiles. For those that watch the show, know that I've asked a couple of times about planes, trains, and automobiles. We're going to give this away. We got comment of the night. Our producer's going to give us away comment of the night. We're in a courtroom tonight because we are talking about objections. overcoming objections. I object. Then they, sustained, overruled, or whatever, and then they ask their question, and they get more information. And you usually make a little statement, and there's a little key in that. Think about it. They'll say, hey, where were you on Tuesday night? Well, I was out with some friends. So you were out with some friends drinking. So you really don't remember the whole night, do you? And all of a sudden, the statements lead to the questions, and all the guy's like, wait, where's this going? All I said was I was out with some friends. And the lawyer is taking this guy down the trail. Now, that's not what we're going to do, but there is a reality that he's taking the information, he's twisting it, and he's using it, and he's constantly grinding with more and more questions until eventually he gives up the information. That's not what I'm saying, but what I am saying is that you have to ask questions to get information, and you have to get information to know what to aim at, and you have to know what to aim at to be able to give the customer information. Could you imagine trying to take a customer through the idea of what a tankless install really is? I mean, actually answer that question in 5 minutes, in 3 minutes, in 2 minutes, and 30 seconds? No way at all. It takes a lot of you months to learn how to install a tankless. The idea of learning 4 to 5 years of going through schooling, do you even have the idea of knowing how to do all the plumbing to be able to even go into a home to do a tankless? You're not going to explain it to your customer in 30 seconds. So you better know what to talk about because there's a whole lot to pick from. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to ask questions. In my training, in my sales training, in my sales to service mindset training, the idea of taking you from the idea, this boot camp mentality of like, let's get you out of that broke fix mentality. Let's get you into the service mindset. The first thing I teach is to ask the question, when you found your problem, what was your biggest concern? Because the reality is that the second you get it off of plumbing and you get it into an opinion conversation, your customer is now on equal playing fields and they can have that conversation with you and they'll give you the information you need to close bigger tickets, to close more jobs, and to make more for your customer, but also for your company so that you're not just more profitable, but so your customer has a better experience and gets more for their money. Everybody wins here. Why would you do it any other way? Either because you're misinformed or you got bad character. Yeah, changed my mind on that one. All right, let's give this bad boy away. Service over sales mindset, she says, just tell them you're going to rip out and install tankless in the attic with mask on, value built. Done. Like, hey, it's gonna be $8,000. Sign right here. Yep. Okay. Thank you. I see it, Brandon. I see how Brandon does. If you're listening to the customer, you will understand the objection. Amen. All right, let's get comments of the night up there. We got 2 comments of the night. Flash them up there. Love to set an appointment with the spouse. Yes, absolutely. If you cannot get the questions answered right, then give the opportunity to meet up with the spouse. Talk on the phone with the spouse, whatever it takes. Absolutely. Because here's the thing. You don't want to do it in a pushy kind of way, but you do it in a way that offers up them as a solution. Meaning, hey, if you want, I can, what questions would they have? I can answer those. After you've answered a few of those, go, look, if you'd like, I can come back. I can make a phone call. I can do whatever we do. It's a more convenient time for you and your spouse because it's a big decision. If they're like, well, no, that's all right. We'll just talk about it. Great. Is there anything I can send you? Is there anything I can email you? Is there anything I can do to assist you in this process? Not help, talk you into anything, but just assist genuinely. Okay, genuinely. Genuinely. All right, what are they? Did we do them? You got them ready? Comments tonight. Here we go. Find common ground and get to know your customer. That's Chad Collins out of Grand Junction, Colorado. My man with the plan all the way up with Pride Plumbing. I love you guys. Good to see you on the show, brother, and good to see you win comment of the night. This is straight from the producer. I don't pick these. I don't have favorites. I do have favorites in the world, but not with my kids. I would never do that. People ask me all the time, do you have favorites? And I'm like, are you crazy? I have 8 kids. Like, if I have one favorite, now I have 7 against me. That's a militia. I'm not doing that. All right. So we got Colorado. It's Coloradian. I don't know. All right. What is it? What are we doing here? We got another winner. Carmen LaCasa, longtime listener, no-time caller. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. You have to listen to their wants and needs. Something. What are you sitting that back up there? To fill their pain. Oh, and offer options. Amen, brother. You have to. You have to get good at listening, guys. Asking questions and then listening. Don't cut them off. Don't interject. Don't try to answer it for them. Ask the question and listen. Let them answer it all the way. You'll build a lot of trust and rapport with customers by simply asking questions. Did you know that they did a survey and people feel like they get to know people more when they actually are the ones that are telling the other person about themselves. I'm going to repeat that. You didn't hear me wrong. People, for those listening to the podcast, are like, oh, I'm sure they flashed something else up on the screen and Chris got that wrong. No, I said that correctly. People feel like they get to know other people more. People feel like they get to know other people more when they tell the other person about themselves. It's crazy, but it's true. And so think about that when you're in the home, building trust and building rapport with your customers. Simply ask them questions. You're not doing this to manipulate and persuade. I'm just making a case here for why it works and why it's important and why it's a part of service. Just making a case here. All right, let's give this away. We got a really important question to ask tonight. She says, I'm right. It's called right. I wouldn't know. Let me ask you this. What questions did I not address? What were your expectations? I love that. Was there any questions that I didn't, is there any information I didn't give you that you guys were hoping to hear today? Was there anything that I could have done? What will get you to buy my product? I'm just joking. Where are you track your leads? Yes. Where did you find us? That's a great question for customers asking expectations, and then smash those expectations with your work. Amen. Under promise, over deliver. That's always a good one. Unless you're a fly by night company, then you should definitely over promise and maybe deliver. All right, so let's do this. Whoa. All right, here we go. Fresh, the new brand. Always be serving the cup. We're giving one of these away. Let's do this thing. Okay, here's the question. When you're overcoming objections and you think about, really, when you just think about the courtroom, you think about the objections I sustain and blah, 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 blah. I think about Liar, Liar, which is a movie that Jim Carrey was in. It's a great movie. Everyone's seen that movie. But he was also in another movie called Mask. Okay? He was also in another movie called Mask. Okay? It was a really good movie. There's a really good scene where he dances outside the police station. Can anybody tell me the name of that song that's played when he does that dance? If anyone can tell me the name of that song, you just won this cup. And it is Mask is the movie. Jim Carrey is the lead. And he is outside of the police station dancing to a song. Can you guys tell me the name of that song? My producer's looking it up just to make sure that we get that right, because memory does not always serve me correctly. Frankie Lamelli in quickly with an answer. Conga, he says is the answer. Does anyone else have any different answers? He says Conga was the song in Mask that they did. He did a little dance, make a little noise, do a little dance, get down. Is it do a little dance, make a little noise, get down tonight? It's whatever. It's get down tonight, do a little dance, make a little noise. I don't know. Macarena is the other one. Spelled that wrong. So we got Conga and Macarena as the two options. What do we do? Cuban Pete? That's not it. Conga, Brandon Redmond says, it is Conga. It is Frankie Lamelli. Just won himself this right here, my man. We're going to get this out to you. Can you send us your address? In fact, Frankie, I'm doing a quick shop visit 2 days in California. As long as they don't shut that state down. My goodness, what's going on out there? I'm going to see you here in about 3 weeks, brother. We're going to do some ride-alongs. We're going to go around. We're going to help some customers. We're going to serve some people. We're going to do some office work. We're going to work with you. We're going to work with your team. We're going to work with your staff. We're going to work with your customers. We're going to show them what a great experience is. I'm up against a lot down there. When I go down there, they got Disneyland and Apple and all these other big Universal Studios. And they're like, man, we know what service looks like. You better bring your A game down here. And I bet my boy Joey Cisneros is like, yeah, I told you. You got to bring your A game. All right. Hey, I love you, Joey. I love all of you. I love you all. Literally. I really do. Why would I do this? Why would I do this? Why? Because I love you. I want your customers to have a better experience. And the only way that's going to happen is if I tell you what I know and how to do it so that you can then repeat it and example it for your communities. Guys, I love you. Remember, always be serving in everything you do, and always be serving your community in everything, not just plumbing. Have a great night.